And just like that, we're live, people. We are live. It's a bit dark here, isn't it? I've actually got the window, like the curtains open. I've got a light in front of me. Got those lights. I've got a light here. Still feels a bit dark. How's everyone doing? um, let's see who's around. Who's here? Let's quickly say hello to a few people. Han Azam, big up to Ade. Thank you. Thank you, Han Azam. Um, what's this? What I think of Eddie saying Khan versus Brook is not a big fight, but 6 months prior to that, he kept on saying it's a massive fight. We'll talk about Khan Brook. I think that fight's done. I think it's done. I saw Brook yesterday, and Brook, I've seen Brook at events before, and Brook's pretty big. Yesterday, Brook looked still quite big, but I don't think he looked much past 160. I think he looked like he's ready to go. And we know that Khan is training with Terence Crawford right now. Something's happening behind the scenes. I would actually say that they are just putting it out there that they want to fight, and it's now going to go down to the highest bidder who's willing to pay the most money. That fight could land on Sky Sports pay-per-view, it could land on DAZN, it could land on an ESPN card, even a PBC card. Who's willing to pay the most for that fight? Sky might come in big just because want to kind of do one over on DAZN and Matchroom, obviously. The Sky might come in big, but don't be shocked if that fight happens soon. I'm trying to think, could it happen this year? Could it happen December? Possibly. Possibly. But I think something's happening on behind the scenes. Who's this? Josh Marsh says, what's good, people? What's good? What's this one? E Machines 34 says, off topic, but why did Fury versus Kabayel not take place? A couple of reasons. Number one, it was behind closed doors at the time. Remember, no fans. And I just financially don't know how they were going to pay Fury. Like, it would have been chucked on BT Sports pay-per-view, but who would have bought that? Second reason, I think, and this might be a bigger one, I don't think Fury's got his British Boxing Board of Control license. I don't think he has. So that might have been an issue as well. What's this? Smile back if you're ugly. Hey everyone, it's Sunday Fun Day. Addy on YouTube and The Sopranos and Sky Atlantic. That's a fucking combination. That's a proper combination. Scott Arbuckle says, yes, Addy, hope you're well. Well, tired. Actually pretty tired, but we're good. We're good. Rowan Perry says, Babic versus Bennet was fight of the night. Crazy. Crazy durability. Crazy fight. Like, I love Babic a lot, like really do. Like, I had a couple of friends there yesterday, and I introduced him to my friends, and he was very nice, taking photos, like doing all that. Very nice guy, but I fear for him when they put him in against someone that has a bit more ability. Like Bennett didn't have much ability. I mean, he was strong, he was durable, all those things, right? That's what you're gonna get from a guy that's nearly 20 stone. But in terms of being able to move and feint, he didn't have any of that. When Babic fights a guy that's gonna be 6'5", 6'6", I don't know, 230 pounds, can move, then this whole Savage Babic thing could be over. I don't want it to be over personally, so I want them to match him carefully. I'm sure Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn will match him carefully, but man, there was a couple of times he got hit, and I was like, yo, Babic is going to get knocked out. Like, it just felt like Bennett was one big punch away from putting Babic to sleep sometimes, just because Babic really does just let it go. And I felt he looked tired. End of round one, he was shattered. I mean, that round one was ferocious. I think Babic said to me after that he threw 600 punches, which is a lot for a heavyweight. It's a lot for a heavyweight. So, yeah. And then I guess the question is, you threw 600 punches and you didn't get rid of a guy. Does that mean you don't have a punch at the heavyweight, like for big heavyweights? Not quite sure. Not sure. We'll see. Soldier Boy Health and Fitness Channel says Adi. Hyder Raider is in Big Depot. What's this one? Martin Bandit. Yes, Adi. Yes, Martin. David E says, you're doing great, Adi. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Guys, I think I appreciate all the love. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys see, so you probably haven't seen this, but yesterday, if you have the DAZN boxing app, you can see there's a thing called Beyond the Bell, which is like the wrap-up show. I did that. Me and Andy Lee did it. I really enjoyed it. So it was kind of like just closing the show. They asked me to do it yesterday, and I did it, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, man, that was nice. Respect Ade, says Mick. Hey, big man, says Luke. Luke, look at the size of Luke. Luke's calling me big man. Look at Luke. Luke look big. Luke look big. Hader Mahmood says Ben out of isolation. Yes, Ben came out of isolation yesterday midnight. Ben will be on the Leeds card, Headingley. So I think Ben Granados is on that card. Eddie mentioned it yesterday. I think he didn't want to 100% confirm, but I think he hinted that it's going to be on that card. So the card is looking pretty thick. I think Ebanie Bridges is going to be on the card as well after she came through unscathed against Beck Conley. So they are really trying to stack the card. Bang the like, says Ramel, please, if you can. Hyder Raider says the difference between Babic and Bennett is the same difference between Beterbiev and Sonny Edwards. Yeah, that's actually crazy. When he's right, 60 pounds. How mad is that? Obviously, it's different. It's heavyweights. I get that, but he's so correct. There was a 60-pound difference yesterday between Bennett and Babic. It's 60 pounds difference between Beterbiev. No. So it'll be Beterbiev and Kid Galahad. No, that's 50 pounds. No. Sorry, Sonny Edwards and Beterbiev. When you think about it, that's mental. When you think of it like that, that is a bit crazy. That's crazy when you think of it like that. Alexander Wilson super chat. Thank you much, Alexander. Really appreciate it. Says, what next for Kid Galahad? He's gonna have a homecoming fight in Sheffield, so it'll be a voluntary. I'm not quite sure who it's gonna be about. It'll be someone. It won't be anything of note. So if you're looking for it to be something special, it won't be. The only way it'll be special and it'll be big. Eddie could go big straight away. There is a lot of talk about Lee Wood being upgraded to full champion, because obviously Leo Santa Cruz hasn't defended the belt, the real belt, for 2.5 years. Now, if he gets upgraded, there is a good chance that they do make a unification fight between Kid Galahad and Lee Wood next. Although Kid Galahad is not keen, he will be keen if Lee Wood becomes full champion. He's not keen now because obviously it's a regular belt. He would rather fight the winner of Warrington Lara, a bit more money in that fight. And obviously if it's Warrington, he'll be thinking about revenge. So it depends. If Lara loses and if Lee Wood doesn't get upgraded to full champion, then Kid Galahad will just literally have a voluntary defense against anyone, if I'm honest with you. Brian Kerr says Khan versus Brook won't happen. Khan will want too much money. You know, the funny thing is, it's still a fight that will generate a huge amount of money and a huge amount of interest. It is. It really is. Like even yesterday, there wasn't that many people there. There's about 400 people, but everywhere Brook went, people were saying, "When's Khan? When's Khan?" Like, I don't know if that was a hardcore fan base there yesterday or a casual fan base, but people will 110% still tune in to watch that fight. Brook did say to Eddie yesterday on the IFL TV interview, like, there's no bigger fight over here apart from AJ Fury. And I was racking my brains, and I think he could be right. I think AJ Whyte would maybe do bigger numbers, but he's right. It's up there. It's in the top 3, definitely. That's how big a fight it still is. So although Khan will want a lot of money, the fight will generate a lot of money, a huge amount of money. Khan Brook, it will still bring in a lot of the casuals, Super chat here from Lewis Moore. Again, really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, Lewis. Says, yes, Ade, love your stuff on the zone. Looking forward to more vlogs as well. Going on holiday tomorrow, so just wanting to wish you well before I go. Hey, wish me well, wish you well. Hope you're going to a place that doesn't turn to amber and red and you're stuck out there. If you're stuck out there, you might need your super chat money back. But no, thank you so much. Those vlogs, people seem to like them, so we're going to start them properly again on Thursday. I go to the hotel, so I check into the hotel Wednesday evening, so we'll start it then. All the fighters are there Wednesday, and we're going to do it properly. I think I rushed those two, but we're going to do it properly because there's so much that still goes on behind the scenes. Like, I didn't take you into the Matchroom headquarters. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to film in there, but Eddie said it was okay. Like, obviously, certain rooms I can't go into, but he said it was okay to go in there. So we're going to do a proper behind the scenes press conference, weigh-in, and fight day. I promise you. I got 2 last time. We'll get all 3 this time. Adam Watson says, "Hey, Addy, I'm at fight camp next week." Yes. You know, how many people were there that watched the channel? It's crazy. So thank you to everyone that came up to me and said, you know, that they enjoy it. Guys, the green chair is there next week. How crazy, you know how crazy this is. Someone pointed this out for me. I don't know if you guys remember when I was taking the green chair on tour. Remember that? Me and a guy called Ring Raps were just out everywhere. We went to fight camp last year and we're literally at the front door and I wanted to film right outside. And they were like, you can't film, basically like, go away. A year later, they're asking me to bring my chair into fight camp. What the hell is going on? Yeah. Clap for myself sometimes. You got to clap for yourself, people. Denzel Addo says, Addo, you're a natural on DAZN. Big up for bringing the guys from Undefeated through as well. Yeah, I had to get those guys on. I had to get the Undefeated podcast guys on. Like, the funny thing is, I've tried actually quite a lot to like when I can to bring on people that or to kind of help people that want to do this and bring them on. Like on Talksport, I brought on Boxing Lowdown, I brought on Kojo, G-Man, and obviously, yes, last week on the zone, I asked for them to get Rob Terrett from Boxing Social, these guys from Undefeated. I feel like we all need to kind of jump on board and help each other. I feel like a lot of people, as soon as you get in, people don't want to bring people with them. I'm completely the opposite. I want to bring people with me. What we got here? Ryan Kerr said Bennet had a good jab. Did he? Then again, no. You are correct because he did rock. He rocked Babic's head back a few times with the jab. You know what? You are correct, sir. Bennet did have a good jab. He just was far too big. He was shattered. He wasn't hurt, by the way. Even though he was getting thumped, he wasn't hurt. He was just couldn't breathe. He was literally on his last legs. So yeah, you never know. What's this one? Rowan Perry says Khan versus Brook at this point is basically 50-50 because of how spent they are. How crazy is that, right? I'm with you. They both have deteriorated, but 2-3 years ago, I would have said Brook knocked out Khan. I was so confident Brook would knock out Khan. Now I don't know, especially if the fight's at 147. I certainly don't know. And I think the fight could be at 147. The reason I say that is, again, on that IFL TV interview with Brook, Eddie, Eddie says he wants to bring Conor Benn into the mix. Clearly, he must be talking about 147 pounds. He's not going to bring Conor Benn into the mix of the fights at 154. I mean, the 147 definitely benefits Amir Khan. If I'm Brook, you got to try and make sure this fight's at least at 150, at least. 2 seconds. What's this one? Team Banchamek says, yes, Eddie. Amazing weekend for your subscribers. And I try to do a few bits behind the scenes because I've not really sat on the green chair as much. I feel like I've still got to keep going, you know? Still got to keep going. Mike Henry says, big up Ade. Who would you say is further along, Babic or Wardley? And who do you think would win? Wardley. I think Wardley's now firmly British level. Like yesterday, obviously defended his English strap. He's now firmly British level. And he's not far away, maybe 3 or 4 fights from European level. Babic fought Mark Bennet. Again, this is no critique of a Mark Bennet. He's only lost once, but there are like Wardley's definitely further afield. I still have no idea how good Babic is. I don't think anyone knows how good Babic is. If I'm honest with you, Babic is selling us the fight because of the way Babic is outside of the ring. Don't get me wrong, when he goes in the ring, he goes for it, but I still have no idea. I still think someone could just knock him out and put him on his ass. Whereas I think Wardley has got a bit about him, still makes mistakes. He's going to. He's only what, an 12 fight novice. No amateur background, but he's got a lot. And the thing is, Andy Lee, like I did that show, I did like a closing show yesterday with Andy Lee. And Andy Lee says that he almost benefits, and this is Wardley I'm talking about, the fact that he had no amateur background. So there is no kind of fundamentals that people are used to. Like some people are just used to fighting amateurs. They kind of know what's coming. With Wardley, you have no idea what's coming because he's still very awkward with his stuff. So he might surprise a few. He surprised me yesterday with the Nick Webb performance. I think he might surprise a few. Muzzy Moyes, I'm actually watching Beyond the Bell now on the TV and on YouTube and on the phone. Jeez, man's watching a bit of everything. Brian Newton says, what's happening, Ade? So crazy seeing you on DAZN. Dude, it's crazy for me. Dude, it's crazy for me. You say it's crazy. I tell you now, it's crazy for me. I can't lie to you. I'm still a bit like, what? What's going on? I'll be honest with you, I'm still like that. Super chat here from Alexander Wilson. Did you see or hear the WBA controversy at the PBC card last night? It involves so much that it needs to be looked at. No. Now you said that, I shall look at it. I actually didn't see it. Someone said I blocked. Hassan Kili says, yo, Ade, you blocked me on IG for calling you a Wilder fanboy. Yeah, that deserves a block. What? That deserves a block. You definitely said more than that because I wouldn't block you just for that. But that deserves, you can't call me a Wilder fan, but that's immediate block. Immediate block territory. Wilder fanboy. Come on now. Come on. But this is an interesting one. From Scott Arbuckle says the referee should have Webb account. Okay, should have given Webb account yesterday. The ropes were keeping him up. Are you saying the referee should have given Webb account? Because I feel like you've contradicted yourself a bit here by saying the ropes were keeping him up. I will say this though, no complaints from Webb's team, no complaints whatsoever. We all went back to the hotel yesterday and everyone was just there together talking about it, and there didn't seem to be anyone that was like, Webb didn't complain. And I mentioned this yesterday, sorry, in this morning's video, when Carlos Takam was stopped, he lost the plot. Carlos Takam went crazy. Like, if Webb should have got a count, then I would have expected of Webb. So I would have expected Webb to go crazy as well. He didn't. He almost just seemed to accept it, which is disappointing because, again, he's coming off a really good win against Eric Pfeiffer. And he looked in good shape on the scales as well. Webb normally carries a lot of timber around sort of the belly area. He actually looked a lot better than I've seen him for a long time, but he just, to me, didn't fancy it. What's this? Ade, I've had no cash. Lockdown was tough. Guys like you got me through lockdown. Cheers. Yo, man, that's nice. That's a nice message to get. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much, my man. Look, we all help each other. Trust me, like through lockdown, I was stressed as well. Like making videos was my like little way out. It was fucking refreshing to make videos. So as much as people like yourself, Si, say I helped you, trust me, you watching the videos and me doing it helped me. Telling you that now. Telling you that now. Laura Kavanagh says, hi, Ade, loving your work on DAZN. You're doing brilliant. Sick of Tony Belly's voice, though. He gets a lot of stick. Hey, you know what? Talking about stick, Maya Jama seems to be getting too much. Like, I get it. And look, some of you might disagree. I get it that her boxing knowledge isn't like, maybe the way it should be, but she's not really there for that. That's why I think this time round, like last week, it was her and Tony Bellew, right? This time they had a couple of in. I think at one stage had Andy Lee and then they had Josh Warrington. Like, I think we need to kind of give her a chance a bit. I think what's not going to help is that she's off for the next 2 DAZN fight cards, I believe, and Laura Woods is coming in. I think Laura's going to smash it. So that's not going to help her. But I do think that we need to kind of rein in the abuse a little bit. I mean, we've gone a bit too far, I think, with the digs. We've gone a bit too far. I don't think she deserves some of the stick she's getting. Personally, that's just my own fault. Saeed Mia, super chat. Again, much appreciated. Thank you, everyone, by the way. Super chats. Thank you. Proud of you, Ade, especially because you're one of us, but clearly talented. We've all got our talents. I replied to me on LinkedIn, though. Westman blank for 3 months. It's all love. I get so many messages. Apologies. Sometimes I just have to give myself a day just to go through the messages, but I see them all. I know it doesn't really count if I don't respond back to you, but I do see all the love. Trust me, people, I do. And thank you. Again, look, guys, thank you for all the love. I really appreciate it. Jimmy Cullen says, Mark Bennett came from white collar. Only a handful of amateur fights. The big man did well to put it on Babic. Yeah, he did. I knew he was going to put it on Babic because of the weigh-in when he slapped Babic. And I was like, yo, it's going to be a fight. Like I knew it was going to be a fight. I tell you what, I also knew it was going to be a fight. Akeem Fiaz versus Kevin Baldespino. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was the first fight. So it was the free fight, which would have been on DAZN's YouTube channel. I knew that Akeem Fiaz might be in trouble just by looking at that guy. Like, I walked in and I saw the guy walk past me with like blue hair, tattoos, but he looked ripped. I was like, who's that? No idea who he was. Then they told me it was Aki Fiaz's opponent. And I was like, yo, that guy looks like he's just come off the roads. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? Like, man looked like he just come off the roads. And at the weigh-in, I thought Fiaz is in trouble. Like, Fiaz is kind of, he's soft. He's still quite young. Can't really punch too much. And this guy Baldespina looks like this was his opportunity. And in the end, Fiaz won it by 77, 76. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people think about those scorecards. But yeah, boy. All right, what's this one? Oh, this is Cy H. Okay, Cy. Didn't need to do that, my man. Thank you very much. Honestly, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jake Parsons says you're doing a good job on DAZN. Jake, my boy, what's good? What's good? What's this? Joe Gill says, been pretty inspiring watching you succeed, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. That I love. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Lost Soul says Babic and Wardley said in an interview that they wouldn't fight each other. No, they're both managed by Dillian Whyte. They're definitely not fighting each other, and they don't need to. Like, there's so many heavyweights out there right now. You really, unless they get to a stage, and I don't think either are going to get to where they're world champions, and you almost have to because there's too much money on the table. You really don't need to fight each other at the level they're at. You don't. Like, you think of, like, who could Wardley fight? Wardley could fight Nathan Gorman next. Wardley could fight Daniel Dubois next. You know what I mean? He could do those kind of guys. And as for Babic, I mean, again, they've got to be careful with him, but there's so many fights he can have as well. I think Wardley's the one they've just got to be a bit careful with them, just because, I don't know, I saw holes against Molina, but he got the job done, and he got cracked a couple of times by Nick Webb. Just got to be a bit careful, but I do think he's got the beating of Gorman. I would love to see him versus Dubois. I think that's an interesting scrap, a really interesting scrap, that one. Base the Kid says, "Are you bringing me to fight camp next week?" Base, what talents do you have, Base? Let me know. I can speak to the DAZN people and see if we can get you in. Although, Base, I did tell you start your channel, but you ain't listen to me. You ain't listening to me. Did tell you. What else we got? Let's go a couple of questions. Let's see. What's this one? Cystic One says the heavyweight division is like no other. You don't need to have an amateur pedigree to turn pro. Kind of crazy, but you are correct. I don't think there's not many other divisions like that. I mean, look, we have seen some fighters who haven't had that much of an amateur background do decent at a lower weight class. You think of Anthony Yard, you think of Conor Benn, but I mean, in the heavyweights, to go from white collar to what Wardley is now, which is one step away from British champion, I mean, or at least fighting for the title, that's some doing, That is, and to do it in only 12 fights, you have to applaud that. You have to applaud that. Good question here from Adil Shakut. How does Galahad fare against Navarette and Russell Jr.? It's so difficult to gauge how good Gary Russell Jr. is, because Gary Russell Jr., since like 2014 or 13, has had one fight a year. One fight a year. I mean, what I will say about Galahad is that yesterday he showed that he's got nearly every punch in the book. He's clearly got the gas tank. Like, I mean, round 10, when I thought he was going to start to fade, this guy seemed to go up another gear. And let's not forget the camp he's from as well. That Ingle camp, I mean, they produce winners. They produce world champions. That's what they've done for the last sort of 15, 20 years. And I think that kind of winning mentality kind of just runs through them. So I think Galahad will cause them problems. I think he's got a better chance of beating Navarette than he's got of beating Gary Russell Jr. But Galahad is definitely one of the best featherweights in the world now. You can't have him less than number 3, as far as I'm concerned. You can't. Especially if Leo Santa Cruz isn't considered a featherweight. You've got to have Galahad right up there. You've got to. What's this one? Touch Glove says, would you box Coogan? Nope. Well, unless you're kind of and there's money on the table. What's this one? Aob says, Ade, shout out for bringing Undefeated Boys to the zone. Yeah, they were. The thing about Undefeated Podcast Boys is that they were really good as well. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff they did. Go and check it out on Twitter, DAZN's Twitter page. Undefeated Podcast guys were really, really good, man. Super impressed with them. WM, yes, Ade, how you doing, bro? When are we going for our drink? Saudi Will. Will was at the first fight camp. I mean, first in last week's fight camp. Dude, when I get time, it's actually quite mad how much time I don't have. Like this is my only day off right now, Sunday. And we went to the studio, we went to the gym. I'm prepped for tomorrow's show on TalkSport. So when we get time, I do need a couple of weeks off to sort my life out, but we'll get. Good question. Here from Cystic One says, how's the refurbishment going? Guys, we are 100% in. Trust me, 100% in by the end of next week. We're in by the end of next week. This and me won't be here by next week Friday. We will not be filming by next week Friday. I went to go and see it today. It's all good. I'm buying the table tomorrow evening. I've got a nice long table coming. Obviously this chair. I'm still not sure. I'm obviously going to sit on this chair when we film. I'm not sure what the guests are going to sit on. Suggestions, I'm not sure. And then I've just got to put bits in there, a bit of artwork in there and that, but we're good. We're good to go. I have 3 of these digital cameras now. I've got 3 of these. I've got 3 stands. We're good, peeps. Man, not gonna be easy, but we're good. Scott Arbuckle says, Ade, do you know what's going on with Josh Kelly? I honestly do not know. I was gonna ask Adam Booth, but he wasn't there. Ellie Scottney, who I think trains with Adam Booth, I'm pretty sure. She was supposed to be in yesterday's card. She wasn't. So Adam obviously wasn't there. It would have been good to ask him, but I have no idea what's going on with Josh. I'm guessing there's just maybe just needs to take a little time out, decide if he can still make 147 comfortably. If not, then 154 division in this country is really, really hot. Obviously, we've got Anthony Fowler versus Liam Smith, October 9th. Press conference is on Tuesday for that one. That's going to be crazy, that press conference, because those guys, let me tell you, it's real beef. I wish I could tell you a bit more. It's real beef. Let me just tell you that. Raps on TV. Boop in the building. Says, yesterday just arrived. Thoughts on Babic at heavyweight. I feel he needs to work on being a cruiserweight. Dude, he doesn't even need to work. Like, he can just be a cruiserweight. Like, he can get down 100%. Like, if Lawrence Okoli can make cruiser, Babic can make cruiser. Like, Babic, I'm 5'10 and a half. Babic is maybe an inch taller than me, inch and a bit. That's all it is. And I think he's maybe about 4 or 5 kilos heavier. That's it. But look, he thinks he can handle the big boys. I mean, he's just giving away too much, man. You can't give away 60 pounds. You can't even give away 50 pounds, 40 pounds. You can't give away that much. And he's given way too much away. And if he was, and this is no dig at him, but if he was super skillful, then it wouldn't matter too much. But he's not really, is he? He's just a clubber. And if he was super fast and, you know, could do crazy stuff, then maybe you can get away with that weight difference. But he's not. So that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does. G-Man in the building says, big shout out to the best presenter on DAZN. Ade, can you tell Laura Woods? I said, that's quite smart. Let me read it out properly. Big shout out to the best presenter on DAZN. Ade, can you tell Laura Woods I said that? Laura Woods is so good and clean and crisp with her work. It's incredible. She presents next week. A lot of you guys have been screaming for Laura Woods to have a go in the presenter chair. She gets it. Obviously, Maya's off next week. I think it's her birthday. So Laura gets the opportunity to have a go. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can do. I'm sure she'll smash it because she's just that good. All right. What we got here? John Cahill says, who would you put Wardley in with next, Ade? Gorman, Kash Ali, Price? No, Kash Ali for me is more Babic. I think I wouldn't mind that because I think Cash would sell the fight. Imagine a press conference for those two, by the way. That would be crazy. Wardley, I don't think David Price is going to come back and fight again. I mean, I spoke to David Price about 6, 7 months. No, that's too long. About 4 months ago. And he was very much like, you know, if the right fight comes, you'll take it type mentality. So I'm not quite sure. I don't think Price is going to come. For me, it's got to be Gorman. It's got to be Gorman or Dubois next. If we're talking from a British English standpoint, Gorman or Dubois. And for Kash Ali, Babic. That makes a lot of sense. Babic does for Kash Ali. But in saying that, Dave Allen's back, isn't he? Or is he? I don't know if he's back fully, but if Dave Allen's back, then Gorman Allen or even Allen Babic, I wouldn't mind seeing. Because Allen, he's big, but he's not the biggest of heavyweights either, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. All right, what we got here? Let's quickly run through some stories. Loads coming up. I went and saw that today. Sorry, guys. You know, I just don't want to miss some of the questions. 2 seconds. Someone says you can just get one of those foldable chairs for the guests. Nah, won't have to look. Let's go have a look. Won't have to look if I do that. This is an interesting question. And what will be your first watch along in the studio? What day is it today? Saturday, 8th of August. When's Spence Pacquiao again? When is that? That I should really push myself for that. When is Spence Pacquiao? Someone remind me, please. That might be the one we do. Hey, what happened to Darrell Williams? Just stopped after he got. Remember that decision where he got kind of robbed. Can't remember who it was against now, but he just stopped boxing. Some people decide it's just not worth it, is it? This is interesting. This can't be true. Is this true from Mr. Owusu that Richard Comey versus Loma is happening? I hope that's not the case. That'd be disappointing. Would it be? No, I think Richard Comey's still solid, but I'd rather it not be that. I'd rather he chill out. You know, I think the issue was Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos has stalled for so long. I think he would have fought Teofimo because Teofimo is going to beat Kambosos. Good fight, but he's going to win. Now we don't even know when that's happening, and I think Loma just wants to stay active, which I guess we can't complain, right? We can't complain. I've not seen the Conlon fight. Some people asking me, I've not even seen that card. I need to see that card, but I've not even seen it. It looked incredible from what I saw, photos. And Ali Drew, who was with us on DAZN, she was presenting in that card, and she said it was incredible. So I need to watch it. Cash in. Is he really that small? I'm guessing you're referring to Babic. Yeah, Babic is small. Babic is small. I mean, he's broad shoulder, like he's quite wide in the shoulder, but you know what it is? So yesterday, Dillian Whyte was there, Chisora was there, Joe Joyce was there, and you're watching these guys, you're looking at these guys. What's Joe Joyce? 6'6"? I mean, Dillian Whyte, was he 6'4", maybe? And they're thick. And then you see Babic, and you're like, yo, you're small. Like when you see them. So compared to the average guy on the street, obviously Babic is still quite a big guy. But compared to those guys, just too small. Just too small. 2 seconds. What's this from Comrade? Babic can either make some dollars at heavyweight or be a B-level cruiserweight. Easy choice. Good shout. You know what? You're right. But when you say make some dollars at heavyweight, it's not like he's fighting anyone at heavyweight. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I fully get it. Like, if he fights a name, and there will be some names there, then yeah. But I think the names he's fighting now, where he's making some money, you could easily, they could be the same kind of opponents at cruiserweight. But you're right. Eventually, if he gets to a stage where maybe he becomes 16-0, 17-0, and he actually fights someone, then you're right. The bigger money is going to be at heavyweight. But I don't think he's even going to get to that stage. I think that's my thing with him. This is the man that literally started everything for me, Andrew Spence. I owe him literally my life. Yes, Ali smashing it as per usual. Man like Ali Depot Guan. Literally, this man right here. It's crazy. WM says Ali should have a studio launch party. Should I have a studio launch party? Studio ain't that big to have a launch party. If I can be like an exclusive VIP party with like 10 people, it's not that big. We'll see, you know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I didn't even think about that, if I'm honest with you. Jimmy Williams, big up Addy, been really well on DAZN. Right. No one's asking any. You know, I'm surprised not many people are asking questions about Ebanie Bridges. That shocks me. I thought you men would be flying those questions in. No way. The black skeleton, Dillian Whyte is looking fat. I don't know what TV does. Let me tell you now, he is looking jacked, not fat, jacked. I was this close to him. I actually told him, I said, dude, you are massive. Like, and it wasn't fat. And he was like telling me that he's now coming down in weight. I'm telling you now, his neck was like that. There was no fat on him. I don't know what pictures you saw or what you were looking at, but nah, not at all. Hatman was quite critical of Laura Woods. Everyone's critical of everyone. This is it, you know, like, I mean, what did Laura do? I mean, again, Laura's knowledge isn't crazy. It's getting better, but it's not crazy. We just have to give these people time. They've been chosen for a reason. I mean, I said this. I did say that the team that we're seeing now with Matchroom and DAZN at the start won't be the team that ends. It just changes. It just changes eventually. Someone comes in, someone comes out until it's considered perfect. So we'll see. We'll see how she gets on. What we got here? Who's this? Chris Mason says, I've worked with Laura on the darts. She's a different gravy, top class and lovely girl. Chris Mason tuning in. Jeez. Do you guys know Chris Mason, darts player? She's good. Laura's very, very good. Like, proper. Trust me when I say it, guys, proper. Like, nothing wrong with her at all in terms of a presenter. Nothing at all. Okay, everyone's telling me that it's on the 21st. Ooh, that's tight. That 21st. 1 second, I'm just bringing up my calendar. Could we do the first live on the 21st? Yes. Wait. Ooh. I think we could do it. We could do it. I think we can do the first. I think Pacquiao Spence going to be the first live. What a live to do. We'll do the live anyway. We're gonna, regardless of whether or not we do it there, we'll do the live anyway. But yeah, that will be the first live. Super chat here from Ian Hamilton. Evening, bro. Great to see you on the DAZN gig. All deserved. I know you're a Lee Child fan. Remember, just got the first one. Can't wait. Dude, I'm not a Lee Child fan. I'm obsessed with Lee Child. I've got all these books. I'm looking over there because they're all over there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 Lee Child books. That's quite sad. Adil Shakut says Dubois smashes Wardley to bits. Gorman makes more sense. I don't know why you think he smashes him to bits. Every single person that Dubois beat, I think Wardley beats, including Gorman. So I don't know. And Wardley can hit. Wardley can crack as well. Be interesting fight. Look, I wouldn't be shocked, especially now. Dubois with Shane McGuigan. I think he's going to be a bit better. He's got the fight in America, so let's see how he gets on. But I don't know about smashing that. I think everyone said this about. I don't know. Wardley's not got a Joyce chin, but I remember people saying that Dubois would smash Joyce. Maybe not as blatant as this, but I remember people saying that, and then we all saw it happen. So you never know with boxing, people. Look at this. This is funny. Adi only reads out super chats, even though I just read the question about Dillian Whyte being fat. Cheeky. Cheeky. People give me a Spence Pacquiao date. Usyk says Joshua Buatsi is the next world champion from Ghana. Oh, from Ghana. Yeah. Can't think of many more. Although Isaac Dogbo is going to have another crack at a world title, I think, before Buatsi does. But I think if Buatsi beats Bolotniks, I think it's one more and then a crack at someone. I don't know who. Joe Smith. If Bivol still has a belt, Bivol, he should be targeting Bivol. Even though Bivol's a great fighter, Buatsi should be targeting him. But I think it's likely that Bivol will fight Canelo. So we'll see. That was the one. Someone asked about Darryl Williams. That was the fight. Zach Parker versus Darryl Williams. Daryl Williams. This is where boxing is just so unfair. Daryl Williams beat Zach Parker. Zach Parker's obviously gone on since then. And I think he's put together 3 or 4 wins. You can check it out on BoxRec. And now it's not going to happen. But Frank saying Canelo, if he wants to fight in the UK, should fight Zach Parker. Like, imagine if you're Daryl Williams, you're thinking, wait a minute, you're saying this guy should fight Canelo. I beat this guy and was robbed, and was robbed. No two ways about it. It was one of the worst robberies I've seen in a while. And we have seen some crazy. What we got here? Someone asking about, wait, what's this? I'm reading this one just because it feels like it's going to be nice and positive. Shout out to Adi and his work rate. Just getting in, but getting in others in as well. I had a laugh at the piece of Undefeated Podcast through KG's page. Thank you, my man. Work rate is crazy. I'm lying, my work rate is kind of crazy, but I love it. This is interesting. Dan the man said, I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev walked around heavier than Babic out of camp. Beterbiev, I think, is taller than Babic. I don't know how Beterbiev makes light heavy, if I'm honest with you. I have no idea how he makes 175. It doesn't even make sense how he makes 175. And by the way, you guys are going to see, I think a lot of people think Boatsy is quite small. And a lot of people I think I even mentioned it when I said Boatsy should maybe see if he can go down to 168. I'm going to take a picture with Boatsy. Again, I am, 92 kilos, 5'10 and a half, 5'11. Watch how bigger, or see the photo. And this is Boatsy now making 175. Watch how much bigger he's going to look than me. Boatsy's a lot bigger than some people think. What's this? Hyder Raider says, rank needs in order. Joyce, Whyte, Usyk, Wilder, Ruiz. In order, that's actually a very good 5. I like that. Let me start from 5 to 1 first. 5, just based on what have you done, who have you beat. I would say Joyce is 5th. This is tough. This is very, very tough. Dude, I don't have a clue how to rank these. I generally don't know. I actually don't know. I'm not joking. I think these guys could fight each other 10 times and the results could be different 10 times. I don't think there's a clear number 1 there. A lot of you might be screaming right now and saying Wilder, Usyk, but I don't know, man. Some might even be saying why. I have absolutely no idea about that ranking. No idea. Does anyone, please? I need to see someone else. That's a bloody good question. That could be the question of the day. Could be. I have no idea. Look at this one. I said no one said anything about Ebanie Bridges. Mark says, what is there to say about Ebanie Bridges? What I will say, though, good win for her. Good win against Bet Connolly. Bet Connolly has lost a few times, but normally, and if you watch my video this morning, apologies if I'm repeating myself, but normally Bet Connolly only gets a week's notice to fight. She gets a call, can you fight? And she has to shed weight. This time she got 3-4 weeks notice, which is quite a lot for, that's actually a lot for most fighters, 3 to 4 weeks, unless you're obviously fighting at the higher level where you're going to get your 6 to 8 weeks. So Bet Connolly got a good camp, and Ebanie Bridges got rid of her. She got rid of her in style. Now there's a lot of talk about Ebanie Bridges fighting on that Leeds card, and obviously Shannon Courtney's going to have a fight first, and then them two can get it on after again. Why not? Why not? What's this one? Base the Kid says, do you think that next week will be a disappointment? A lot of the original scheduled bouts seem to have dropped off the card. Yeah, a lot have dropped off. Savannah Marshall was supposed to be on the card. Natasha Jonas was supposed to be on the card. Who else? There's someone else. Ellie Scottney wasn't supposed to be on the card. They kind of said she'll be on this card. Now I don't think she's on. So it is disappointing. Like so far, Michael Mickinson, if you guys might remember, Chris Congo, he's on the card. Obviously, Boatsy, Bolotniks. They have got they got on there. Joe Cordina is going to be added to it. But when you're being added so late, you kind of worry who the opponent's going to be. But look, the funny thing is, with boxing, I think we saw it last with the card just gone. I thought this card was the worst. Honestly, when I first saw them all together, I was like, oh man, this middle card ain't great. Then all of a sudden, you get some good fights. Like Bennet Babic was a good fight. Wardley versus Nick Webb was a shootout. I thought Fiaz versus Baldespino was a decent little fight as well. So sometimes you roll the dice, and this is boxing. Anything can happen with these cards. But I'm with you, Base. I do look at it and think, man, where's all the fights on this card? Like it needs something. Like remember last fight camp, the last fight card on fight camp was Dillian Whyte Povetkin when Dillian Whyte got knocked out. Obviously that was on pay-per-view, but it almost felt like let's go have a big bang. Let's give it something. And we don't have that, which is a bit of a disappointment. But they still could be all great fights. They could be. Just you just don't know with boxing, do you? You really don't. What's this one? Nathan says, how tall is Babic? Like 6'1", yeah. 6'1". This is funny. But Kian Parker says, you look 5'6" standing next to Hernan Bellew. I certainly am not 5'6". Oh, what's this? Okay. Best to worst. Best to worst. Okay. Whyte, Usyk, Ruiz, Wilder, Joyce. I don't know how I have no idea in which world you have Whyte 3 places above Wilder. I don't know, man. This is I don't say I don't know in what world because I didn't do it. This is tough. It's tough. What is it? What's this one? Let's see, Sammy Pavley. This is saying everyone's gone different. Wilder, Whyte, Usyk, Ruiz, Joyce. If you're just joining us, someone put the question, rank these guys 1 to 5. Wilder, Whyte, Usyk, Ruiz, Joyce. But you know how crazy that is? Let's be honest, guys. If Joyce was to fight Dillian Whyte tomorrow, I think that's a 50-50 scrap. I really do. I think can Dillian Whyte dent him? I don't know. I don't think anything can dent this kid right now. Interesting matchups. Okay, what's Raps done? Raps has done Wilder, Whyte, Ruiz, Usyk as 4. Joyce. Tough. This is a great little one. Last couple. Joyce, number 1. Stop it. I'm not even reading that. I'm leaving. I'll read it anyway. Joyce, Usyk, Ruiz, Wilder, Whyte. This is when you know boxing's crazy. Like we get so upset with people's opinions. Like you just don't know. Everyone's got a different opinion. Chris, you left out Usyk. Send it again. You left out Usyk. All right. What have we got here? Celtic Warriors got Wilder, Whyte, Usyk, Ruiz, Joyce. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to. And AMC 8 says, do you think you'll get the Specsavers advert after the beanbag performance? That shit is addictive. I know it's called cornhole in America. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's actually quite big in the States. And I'll tell you now, all the fighters did it and they got really competitive as well. Yeah, no, my performance was good. And then the lights camera went on and it was shocking. It was shocking. Becca has gone Joyce. Oh, she's gone that way. Okay, so she's gone Joyce 5, Ruiz, Usyk, Wilder, Whyte. What's based on? Whyte, Usyk, Ruiz, Joyce, Wilder. See, everyone, I'm not joking, everyone's gone different. And that's the beauty of this sport, right? All of us, I'd like to think, know our boxing. Everyone has done their top 5 different. That's boxing for you. By the way, whoever sent it in, well done. That's a really, really good list. Really good. Lee the Ball Guy says, yeah, Lee, Ebanie mentioned you yesterday. Ebanie Bridges mentioned you because clearly you're her biggest fan over here. By far, I think, as well. Lee the Ball Guy, yes, Ade, you beautiful fellow bald brother. First off, I'm so happy for Ebanie. She's selling herself well. Also, shout out to Susie of women's boxing and Nicola Hopewell. Yeah, Ebanie really is selling herself well. Like, really. And what I liked about her yesterday, and I guess this is, if you've been to Matchroom for this fight camps, any of the 1 or 2, you'll understand what I'm saying. But if you haven't, like boxers finish fight and then they just go and mingle with the fans. And I think that's what makes this event quite. Look, 750 still 750. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of money. In fact, it's 800. There's a £50 booking fee. But what you do get is this kind of, you get a chance to talk to fighters that you've never had. Like they're literally just walking around eating. Like when he finished her fight, Beck finished, obviously, everyone that fought yesterday, apart from Jazza Dickens, obviously, because 8 was the final fight and because he had to go to hospital, everyone else just stood around and just mixed with the crowd and took photos and chatted. And obviously, as you can imagine, Ebony got fucking, everyone ran up to her. But I'll tell you who they ran up to more, Babic. People ran up to Babic because Babic, I don't know if you guys have seen it, Babic proposed to his girlfriend after as well. So Babic got a lot of love. Loads of you sent your orders in. All right, let's see a few more. What we got here? Have I read this one out? I don't know if I've read this one out. Naz says Wilder, Joyce, Usyk, Ruiz, Whyte. Dillian Whyte number 5, blood. Joyce is, people are starting to really like Joyce. I think people are really high on Joyce now. You asked that question prior to Daniel Dubois, you wouldn't have even made your top 5 or that list anyway. What's this one? Higher Rider says Wilder can't hurt Joyce. Wilder can hurt Joyce but can't knock him out. Dubois was catching him walking in and didn't even wobble him. And Dubois may be the second biggest puncher heavyweight. Dubois is nowhere near the second biggest heavyweight puncher. Like, where do we get that from? Because he beat Latte and Tete and Fujimoto and Gorman. Like, David Adeleye would knock all those guys out as well. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get much credit in my book for knocking those guys out. And as for Wilder can hurt Joyce but can't knock him out, Wilder most certainly could put Joe Joyce to sleep. Have you not seen Wilder's knockouts? Have you just not been watching what he's been doing to people? Maybe because he didn't put Tyson Fury to sleep. This guy can put anybody to sleep. And he most certainly could put Joe Joyce to sleep. Certainly. Oh yeah, Kash Farouk fighting next week. That's good. I should have known that. Kash Farouk fighting next week. It's good addition to the card. A few more orders. Let's have a look at these. Christopher Klaus has got it. Usyk, Whyte, Wilder, Ruiz, Joyce. First one to have Usyk as number 1. Oh, no. Someone else has got Usyk number 1. Chris Mason has gone Usyk, Wilder, Ruiz, Whyte, Joyce. I think that's just close to Christopher's. What's this one? Kian Parker says, was you standing on the bus when watching the fights? Yes, I was on the top of the bus watching the fights. Best view in the house. Like, it was the greatest view in the house. So I was on top of the bus with the Undefeated podcast guys, and it was cold, but it was the best view. It was the best view. All right, what's this one? Based off their last performances, Whyte, Joyce, Usyk, Wilder, Ruiz. A good shout. Well, Ruiz didn't look great against Areola, did he? And that was an old Areola. Wilder got beat. This is a very good thing here. Wilder got beat. Usyk didn't look great against Chisora, but got the win. Joyce has decapitated Daniel Dubois and Carlos Takam now, and Whyte got his revenge over Povetkin. If we're going off last performances, then you could have Joyce as number 1. I mean, wins against Dubois and Takam, I mean, not to be sniffed at. Ale, who's taller in person, AJ or Joyce? I'll say exactly the same height. I think they're exactly the same height. I think AJ just looks a bit bigger because he's a bit thicker. Joyce is a lump. Joyce is, I can't say how big. I'll tell you now, though, Dillian Whyte looked huge yesterday. Not as big as Joyce, but just big. Like, looked really, really big. This is not true. Johnny Fisher deals with Dubois easily. No, he doesn't. I like Johnny Fisher. Great guy. The Romford Bull, but he doesn't. Not yet. Even he said yesterday he's got a few things he needs to work on. But what I like is that he's in great shape. I mean, he looks. That's all I ask for, by the way. If you're a heavyweight and you look, heavyweights don't need to make a weight class, right? But just come in shape. Like I was, we were doing breakfast yesterday. No, the day of the weigh-in, we're doing breakfast. I expected him to fucking go for about 8 sausages and 10 rashers of bacon. He didn't. He went and ate fruit for breakfast. And I was like, yeah, this guy's on it. That kind of made me feel like, okay, this guy he's the real deal. Like he's taking it very, very serious. And I appreciate that. Just because we do see some heavyweights look like they're just in awful shape. He's clearly a bit better than that. Wilder could knock out a horse. I'm not pro animal cruelty, but I think he could. I think Wilder could knock a horse out. I think we've forgotten. It's weird how we just sleep on people after a defeat. Wilder can punch, man. And when Wilder puts people to sleep, like, remember that? But Mainstay Vern's legs bent backwards. Nah, blood. Wilder hasn't had a knockout since Bill. When was Dominant Brazil? What do you mean? Dominant Brazil? Am I missing something? Ortiz? One second. Wait a minute. No, I don't even need to check. I don't even need to check. You're wrong. You're wrong, Base. Yes, someone just said something that's correct. Someone just said Zelfa Barrett is on the card. So Zelfa Barrett may be on the card. It's not guaranteed yet. I guess it's contingent on what kind of opponent they can get. And Felix Cash might be on it as well. So in the end, we could get a kind of card that's full of names, but maybe they're not in against the greatest of opponents. Almost a bit like we've got Anthony Fowler in the first week against that guy, Rico Mueller. So you got Anthony Fowler on the card, but didn't get a name. So I think it might be a bit like that. Might be. I think we've got to read this out because Haider Rada was the person that asked the question, and he's gone Whyte, Usyk, Joyce, Wilder, Ruiz. He's the man that started this thing, so we got to read it. I'll name this account later. Says, why is Joyce ranked so high? Who is he beat? His best win, Dubois. He was losing the fight on the cards. It was very close fight until Dubois' eye fell apart. Well, he's beaten Trevor Bryan. Beaten Brian Jennings. He's beat Daniel Dubois and he's beat Carlos Takam. That's solid. It might not be a top 15 guy, but that's pretty solid. Yeah, I can't fuck with that. That's good. And he beat him. He just almost seems like a fucking Terminator. He walked through them. Didn't walk through Bryant Jennings, but Dubois, like you know, when you said like it was very close fight until Dubois' eye fell apart. Who made the eye fall apart? It wasn't like the eye just kind of fall apart by itself. That was Joyce doing that. So you got to give Joyce credit for doing that, my man. Yeah. Stephen Macklin, super chat, says big shout out to Kelly Harrington winning gold for Ireland at lightweight today. Yes, her life story is an inspiration. Let's hope Eddie signs her. Eddie will definitely sign her. Eddie spoke about it with us yesterday. Like I asked him, like, who's the next superstar coming through? And Eddie was like, it's weird because there's this new cycle of fighters coming out of the Olympics now that he's got his eye on, and they're the kind of future. They're the kind of guys that in 3 or 4 years have to do something. And he was a bit, I thought like he kind of jabbed a bit at Boatsi, just a little bit, or maybe the guys from the Rio Olympics, all of them were like, that Rio Olympics and the stars coming out of there, those were 5 years ago. Those guys and girls should be already doing stuff, like achieving stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed. Harrington gets a contract. I'm sure she will, because he really is trying to push the female boxing agenda now. No, I didn't. Innovation says, Ade, did you get to have a cigar with David Diamante? No, I didn't, unfortunately. So I wrapped up at 6. He went live at 6:20, 6:30. So we didn't get a chance, which is disappointing. Marty Jago, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, my man, says, Ade, who's your favorite fighter at the moment, worldwide and British fighter? Worldwide, 2, Loma, Terence Crawford. Soft spot as well for Teofimo Lopez, but those definitely Loma and Terence. British, I'm crushing it. I love Conor Ben, you know. I don't know how far Conor Ben's going to go, but I'm all for someone that can promote yourself and get in the ring and do all the right things. He does all the right things for me. I'm obsessed with his YouTube channel. I love that kind of behind the scenes thing. And I'm so upset that he wasn't at fight camp because it would have been nice to kind of have a little chat with him, have a little rap with him. But yeah, I do love Conor Benn. In terms of other fighters that I think are going to actually achieve things, I love Sonny Edwards. I think, again, someone that knows how to sell himself. Dalton Smith, who is the English super lightweight champion. He's coming. He really is coming. He's going to do some problems for a lot of people as well. Dennis McCann's there. Hamza Shiraz. There's loads of guys that are kind of, I'm watching, that are like 10-0, 11-0, 6-0, that I'm, okay, let me see what you got in a few years' time. I think we're in a good place. I was so concerned about who's the next big names. I think we've got a few big names coming, slowly but surely. 2 seconds. Nathan says, if Fabio Wardley really 6'5", would have guessed him under that, to be honest. Yeah, you know, he is 6'5". Minimum, sorry, 6'4". But he's a big, I didn't think he was big either. I remember there's a couple of videos I had, or I did it maybe about a year ago, and I said Fabio Wardley's too small for heavyweight. He's not. He's a big guy. He's just he's lean, but he's a big guy. Someone here says Fabio Wardley versus David Price, Christopher Klaus. I don't think David Price is coming back. And if he is coming back, I don't think he's going to come back for Wardley. I think he wants something that, like, he just wants a roll of the dice fight. Like, I think he wants to go in with someone. Like, this is going to sound stupid, but don't be shocked if he doesn't fight someone like a Hergovich. I know it sounds dumb, but that's the kind of, like when he fought Povetkin, he will go in there and just risk it with someone. Might as well. I mean, like, he's only got 1 or 2 fights left. There's no point playing around with people like Wardley. What would he get out of a Wardley win? You know, he'll get absolutely nothing out of it. G-Man Boxing says, to be honest, the Rio guys, apart from a Cody, have done nothing since turning pro. Pretty crazy. Most are still at prospect level. Yeah. And I think this is what he was hinting at, like, Rio Olympics. Remember, it wasn't 4 years ago, it was 5 years ago. Like, what's going on? Like, Cody's the one, obviously, because he's world champion, but you kind of feel like, what's happened? Look, pandemic happened. So I think everything did slow down for a year and a half, but still, you would have expected some of them to be sort of 20, 25 fights in. That's 6 years. Remember, your first 10 fights are fighting every couple of months, gimmies. So, yeah, no one's done much, have they? Yeah, this one, you 100%. Diamante would be a great guest for the green leather sofa you need for the studio. I've got a green leather sofa actually. Yeah, no, we'll do chairs. But yeah, Diamante would be fantastic. He's such a chilled, cool guy as well. Like, this is why I'm so happy I'm doing this gig. Not just because I'm on DAZN and it's a great opportunity for me, but just to see what goes on behind the scenes and to see how these guys are as they prepare to, you know, get ready. Diamante to get ready to do what he does in the fights to get ready. To see them sort of eating breakfast and dinner and just chatting and playing darts and laughing and joking, it's really good. It's really good. Amandeep Johal says, Ade, speak on Team GB boxing. Your fight looks special. Hey, you win a world. So you win a world. You win an Olympic gold medal. You're special. You know, they don't give those things out for free. And it's not just winning the Olympic gold medal. Like, you don't just put on a Team GB vest and go straight to the Olympics. I mean, to qualify to get to that stage, you know how good you've got to be to get there, let alone win it. Like, for me, anyone that got to the Olympics, it's already that. I know they're disappointed, but you already that's an achievement. But to actually get to the stage where you're fighting the best person from the States, you're fighting the best person from Cuba, you're fighting one of the best fighters from Europe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous. So your fight is going to do special things. Ben Whitaker's going to do special things. I'm not super sure about Fraser Clark. But again, he'll be fast tracked like Joe Joyce. Is he as good as Joe Joyce? I'm not quite sure, but he'll be fast tracked. Lauren Price will be pushed as well. Olympic gold medalist, man, should be pushed. McCormack will definitely be pushed. McCormack would have turned pro if it wasn't for the Olympics being suspended. Like, he would have been pro now. Both McCormacks, by the way, Luke and Pat. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if some of them stay on for another cycle. Will Caroline Dubois stay on? Remember, you only have to wait 3 years now as opposed to 4 years. So it'll be interesting to see. Dark Side Rum Punch. Man like DAZN. Man like, yeah, send me some of that. Send me some of that rum punch. That's what you need to do. What's this one? G-Man says, I think even without 2020, the Rio fighters have been matched so slow and careful. Fowler, I like him, but never fought for a British title, having to take a big step up now. I think they were too cautious. Maybe they were too cautious. They're not cautious now. Obviously, Fowler takes on Liam Smith October 9th. That's an interesting fight. Eric says, do you think Eddie will be signing a few of the Olympians? Eddie will try and sign all of them. Just because they're trying to do 52 fights a year. That's the plan for Matchroom and DAZN. Not immediately, but the plan is 52 fights a year. I spoke to Frank Smith, and he mentioned that. In fact, that's one a week. They want to do eventually 2 a week. So they eventually want to try and go to 100 plus fights a year. So they're going to need a big roster. You know, they're going to. I feel like their signings stateside have started to slow down, and I think their ambition now will be to kind of take over Europe. This is the zone I'm talking about, and Matchroom, and then attack America again. I think that's kind of the mindset. So I think they're going to need to sign a lot of these GB Olympians, a lot of them, and that's why I think all of them. All right, guys, just got an hour. Let's do another. What's the time? Let's do another 15. Is that all right? Another 15 minutes? Yeah. Did that happen? Did I just blank out, guys? I think I did. I don't know what happened there. What is this? Alex McAdam says, what is your thought on the Fox scorecard backlash? One of the judges' racist tweet getting pulled up. I have not even seen this. A lot of people talking about this. I don't know if you've seen this. This is interesting. Scott Arbuckle said, Ade, do you know if Michael Buffer is working for DAZN? Don't know. I mean, David Diamante does everything, right? Do you remember when Callum Smith fought Canelo and Diamante was there and they kind of did a hologram of Buffer? I mean, look, Buffer and Jimmy Lennon Jr. is still the best. I think Diamante is catching both of them, and you might as well just give Diamante the reins and let him take over. Frederick says, cheers from Ukraine, my brother. I've seen your content on DAZN and I'm really impressed where you are now. Somehow I'm proud of you. If I may, wish I can meet you someday. Dude, might get my ass to Ukraine. I might get my ass world tour. We do a green chair world tour. You know what? Yeah, I'm laughing. Anything's possible. Anything's possible in this life. Who knows? All right. Smile back if you're ugly, says Ade. On the subject of women's boxing pioneers, do you think the British boxing media give too much credit to Katie Taylor and don't give enough credit to Jane Couch? I'm not anti-Taylor, by the way. It's very interesting you say this because obviously, look, I grew up when Jane Couch was fighting. I remember it and it was very much frowned upon, very much frowned upon then. She had fights in America as well. I think the reason we give so much credit to Katie Taylor is obviously Katie Taylor's amateur pedigree. That's probably what it is. But I do think we need to give Jane Couch a lot more respect. In fact, I do think broadcasters, I don't know what Jane Couch is doing now. I don't know I don't know if she's affiliated to any broadcaster, but I think a broadcaster needs to get her on board. I really do think that broadcaster needs to get Jane Couch on board. She deserves that. She really does. In fact, I'm going to tweet about it. Like, she needs to be doing something. I think DAZN should try and get her in. I really do. Just even if it's just an interview, like one of my little interviews, because she is the pioneer. She's the first one. Good shout. Good bloody shout. Sammy Pavey says, do you think Eddie should sign Keyshawn and Cruz? Eddie was waxing lyrical about Keyshawn. Waxing lyrical about him. I mentioned Dalton Smith, and all he would talk about was Keyshawn. He's clearly trying to, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, trying to Al Heyman must have wrapped that one up a long time ago. Al Heyman or whoever else, top rank, he must have gone a long time ago. So I'd be shocked. And he's pro already. Who is he? He must be. Who is he signed to? Because he's pro already. Matthew D'Souza says, what is happening with Scott Fitzgerald? What he fought when did Scott fight? 2 months ago. He fought at super middleweight, first fight back. So slowly but surely, obviously, look, Teddy's problem outside the ring. I think those are well documented. So we'll wait to see. Someone says, Muzi Moyo says, Ade, check your Insta DMs ASAP. Let me do this. This is live. Me checking the Insta DMs. What's he talking about? Man's got me. I like it. Man's watching me right now. Got MacD's chilled. Watch me. Jeez, the love is real. The love is real. What else did you say? Ade, can you get me an AJ ticket? He said a bit more than that, but he said that. Okay, this is interesting. Boxing pound for pound Jack says, Ade, give a true opinion on Maya Jama's commentary. It's very difficult because I weren't watching Maya Jama's commentary. That's the truth. Remember, I'm doing my bit, then I'm watching the fights. I'm in the stands, I'm on the bus. So I'm not watching it on TV, I'm watching it live ringside. So I have no idea how she did. I've not watched it back yet. So I don't know. All I will say is that it's difficult. It is so difficult. Like I know boxing and I'm a decent presenter and I feel like I've made mistakes doing this. And obviously I get away with it because I say some good boxing stuff, but I made loads of mistakes. Every time I finish filming, I'm like, fuck's sake. Because I feel like I said a fact wrong here or this wrong there. Like once the cameras are on you, and look, some people will say, yeah, but it's her job, and you're right, it's her job. But once the cameras are on you, it's not as easy as you think, peeps. It really isn't. She's trying. And I think the worst thing is she's coming online. Her name was trending yesterday. I mean, calm down, people. Her name was trending. People like saying she's rubbish. And that's fucking. I've had that a little bit, you know. Well, I remember when I first joined Sky and I made a mistake. Her name was trending. Do you know how mentally difficult that is? It crushes you. You go home and you see all this stuff about you. That ain't easy, man. Ain't easy. So I feel like, I don't know, man. I think we're too tough on her. I think the boxing community is a bit weird like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just tough. I don't know. Base the Kids, how are you managing your TalkSport commitments with DAZN? Yes, at the moment, I'm just doing Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays with TalkSport. So Thursdays and Fridays, I'm off. They're pretty cool for now. And bear in mind, like fight camp ends this week, and then we've got a couple of weeks off, and then there's other events. So it's not every week yet. So for now, it's okay to juggle it. Oh no. What's this one? GT says, long time since I caught a live. What you've been missing, blood. You've been missing. Oh shit, so many questions. Oh, I think I went again, right? Something said I went again. I don't know what happened. All right, guys, 5 minutes. I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea. But I think he's cracking up. It's probably a best time, probably best to go now. But apologies, but my live keeps messing up. I don't know if it's my internet Wi-Fi or not, but I wanted to do an hour, done just a bit over an hour. Guys, peace and love.